Alright, what's up? So today we're going to be doing a breakdown video. This breakdown video is going to be of a fight that I had with EdParker02, a very well known player, an elite striker and very good defensive grappler. I fought him in the UFC eSports league. It was on the very last card on PlayStation. So let's get into it. I was the fifth fight. Obviously, as everyone knows, Ed, probably one of the best strikers in the game, is a bodywork and just, bodywork and leg kicks. He can mix them both in. If he's not working the body, he's going to be working the legs. He likes to mix it up. He doesn't always just go for one target, so it's very tough against him. But let's get into it here. So, obviously, knowing that Ed really likes Aldo, he went Aldo. So I thought, alright, I'll go Yan then. I had to watch out for the leg kicks. Knowing Jan's leg health was only 89 was a little bit, tough. But I was like, I'll stick to it, because if I can pressure box him and check a few of his leg kicks, then I should stop him from going for them. And that's what I really need, because leg kicks really good in this game, especially calf kicks, so it can diminish your power. Let's get into it here though. So we start off here. I'm thinking, like I said, need to check those leg kicks. He pulls them out early. I'm just trying to stand in his face and box him up and get those checks in, so he'll kind of stop. He was doing a really good job at just getting them in unexpected areas. Like, you'd throw a combo, his stamina would be a little bit lower, expecting he'd leave the pocket, and then he'd land one. I checked two kicks there early though, and then I land a nice little combo. I keep him to the ground. Ed obviously smart to do the little downwards flick on the right analog stick, which will sit you back down instead of going into toy whip. It catches me nice with a jab straight when I kick way too close. Just trying to step out. I'm trying to step out on the leg kicks, and then on the whiff, I'm trying to return with a jab hook or something like that. But you'll see, as the longer this fight goes, the more kind of counter heavy Ed gets. Like, he's trying to win trades right now and stuff like that, and chop me legs down. Soon enough, he doesn't go for the leg kicks anymore, because as you can see, I do start checking a good amount of these leg kicks. And I even, right now his leg health is even lower than mine, and he's the one leg kicking me. I try and return a couple of leg kicks myself, just to get his leg health lower, so if I do check them, it'll be a lot more punishing. He's whiffing a lot on the boxing, which I noticed early. I check another kick, which is just, when I was checking those kicks, I was like, oh, because that's a big worry for me gone. I slipped straight, which was really good for me. So far, winning this round. So like I said, I'm just trying to pressure box him here. Ed is very good at countering, so I'm really trying to mix me combos up between, so the main combos I was using was jab, lead, hook. I was using jab, rear hook a lot. I was just using jab straight and jab uppercut. So I was just kind of, there's the jab, lead, hook, straight. I was just kind of cycling through 3 combos or such like that, 3 or 4 combos, very similar, because, he was leaning to the side with a jab. When I was jab hooking, he was trying to lean to the side. I catch that body kick, which is really nice, but, I'm losing a trade here. He done really well in the trades. I was just getting too confident with Jan's head health, and he really punishes me for doing so, catching me with that off balance calf kick. So far I'm winning this round. As you can see, I'm really using my block to the best of my ability, and I'm trading off after I block his shots. Jab uppercut there. As soon as he goes for the leg kick, I step out of the pocket, then come back in with my own jab straight. And this was because Ed, boom. See, Ed was just varying between ducking in the pocket, swaying to the side and elbowing, or pulling back and elbowing. So I was really trying to be careful. I was throwing jabs out there to see what his most common one was. That was really good round there. That was round 1 done. I won that round. I want to just kind of do a little bit of a summary of the round. So at the start, obviously, you're seeing that he was going for a lot of leg kicks. He was doing straight lead hook straight. Then I'd kind of come forward, because he'd have lower stamina, and he'd hit me with a calf kick and destabilize me, and it gave him time to recover. So I was like, alright, I see what he's doing here. He obviously throwing, trying to destabilize me, get a stand back up, no punishment. So I was trying to basically I seen when he was doing it, so he'd do the combo, and then I'd learn and I'd check it, and then I'd be just straight onto the attack. But I knew I had to be careful because Ed's counter ability is just so elite that I had to mix up my combos between, you know, the jab hook, the jab uppercut. Obviously at the end there, he was mixing it up and I hit him with a jab uppercut. So that was really good. Just really had to be careful with his combo mix-ups. Or with my combo mix-up. I couldn't get too predictable because he did start to pull back a lot more because I was more fond of the jab uppercut and jab hook. So I do have to start using the jab straight more. Early lands the lead head kick straight. This is where you see he's pulling back a lot more now because he's sitting in my face trying to get my head held low because he realizes he's doing some good work in the pocket. I'm doing better on returns, but like he's doing better with the first initiating combo. Gets me off balance. I land that lunging straight and he does amazing to that stationary slip hook, which is really, it was just really good. He lands that double jab straight, and this is where I start panicking in the fight because I'm like, damn, look at this. If that hadn't like hit my shoulder or something, I probably would have went down. I'm getting too confident. See, he's pulling back again. So I start trying to jab straight there. I'm jab straighting. You know, I jab hook obviously because I'm trying to still mix it up. I'm trying to, if he's trying to slip my jab straight, I want to be able to jab hook him. He does a lovely moving forward slip hook to catch me and lower my head health. I win that trade there. Want to skip that a little bit. See if we can skip that back. Yeah, here we go. So, as you can see, we're both trading here. I win it, and then I jab straight him while he goes for a little bit of an outer range jab hook, I believe it was. And then here, my stamina was a little bit lower after I threw that uppercut out of the clinch, so I decided to step off instead of, because Ed is most dangerous when he's hurt. I decided I'm winning the round. Why should I risk losing it? Because he was still doing really well with his counters on the feet. I try and clinch him and trip him. He does a really good job of getting the get up. I expected the up one because it beats. Let me explain that there actually. This is a little tip. If say somebody walks into your feet on hips, if you do the upwards transition, it beats the both side controls and stack guard. But obviously it is the most obvious one, so they can't deny it. So I was thinking, alright, he's gonna expect me going into side control, and he kind of reverse psychology, you know. He was like, well, not reverse psychology, but he thought what I thought, so he done the opposite. He thought what I thought he was gonna do. I'm nearly confusing myself here, but he thought he's gonna think I'm gonna want to go into, so he knows I'm gonna go up, or he's going to want to deny upwards, or I am, so he thinks, you know, I'll just go to the right leg. Little bit confusing there, but basically he thought I was going to go into side control, or he knew I would want to. So instead, I was like, he knows that he's going to push upwards. I try and deny upwards. Does smart. He knows I would deny upwards, so he goes to the right transition. Like I said, confusing, but it was just really high level by Ed there. He knew that what I was going to do. He knew what I thought he was going to do, so he done quite the opposite. So we find ourselves back on the feet here. I'm in the lead in this round, so, you know, I won the last round. Now I'm up on this round. I'm getting a little bit complacent. You know, I'm like, oh, I'm trying to cruise nearly, and it really does damage me. So I get another takedown there. You know, this is all about control time. I sit down straight away, so he's really good at getting the escapes from full guard after your stamina is lower. Nicely done. He knew I was going to go upwards. I did grapple in this fight, but I grappled very poorly. That was one thing that I was really disappointed in myself in. I go for a takedown, and that animation right there is because Ed pre-denied a turn and takedown when it was a normal takedown. So that's why you see me kind of grab the body lock and trip his rear leg and end up in half guard. So that's why that animation happens. If some of you don't know, you're like, oh, I thought I denied that. Well, it was a normal takedown and you pre-denied a turn. So it goes into that animation. And Ed, I saw his stamina was really low, so I was like, alright, let me try and get a spear. But turned out not to be the case. His stamina got high enough before I got close enough for the takedown. But he must have been trying to move laterally, and when I went for the takedown, he denied it at the same time, but was still moving. Ed also has one of the best bottom half guards in the game, so I should have known this. Like I said, grappled very poorly again, let him get the GA and he gets to get up. I was grappling very poorly, as I said, kind of giving him way too many get-ups. I could have secured this round a lot easier, possible 10-8 with the ground control I could have got. I'm just kind of letting him land 2 on the block, trying to step out and maybe return with 1 when his stamina is low. I'm sure you know, if his short-term stamina is lower, my punches will do more damage to his block and his head, so that's why I was trying to always be second in this fight. You know, because Ed is really amazing at just countering when you initiate the kind of firefight. But if you wait for him, you can kind of counter his counter. So that's what I was trying to really do. You know, and it's more risky if he's trying to, you know, slip hook after he throws a jab up hook as such. His stamina is going to be lower, so if he leans into that, it's going to be really detrimental. So here I'm 2 rounds up. I have a couple of me mates who are very knowledgeable out the game, helping me out. They're like, here, listen, your clinch work is really good. Just make sure you don't take too much damage. You're in the lead. I hit him with a jab hook there. I rock him and I go for that takedown. Really cool new animation. Once again, I knew he was going to go for the get up and I was just way too slow. I try and take the back clinch and get the backpack, but he does a really good job of predicting that and denies it. So here I'm 2 rounds up. Like I said, I have the rock. I'm like, oh, you know, I could win. I'm doing, you know, his head health is really low, but as he's saying there, he's trying to pull back. This round he was trying to pull back very heavily. You know, he was just trying to get that pull elbow, so I was trying to jab straight a little bit more in the pocket. I lunge out of the way there. I try and duck down for a for a takedown. I want to just kind of watch that back there. As you can see, I lunge out of the way. I think, okay, I'll go for a takedown. Does a really nice job. I lean off to the side and he hits me with that really nice combo. The lead uppercut, rear overhand, and I lean the exact wrong way. So there, I'm panicking. I'm like, you know, he's got that stun, he's got that takedown, or he's got that knockdown. He decided not to hop because I think he didn't think he was going to finish me off a singular knockdown. That pull elbow could have been detrimental if landed. I'm still confident in my trades, but I just need to know I'm throwing the right combos. So I go for a takedown. He does a good job at denying it. I try and, you know, I just try and get the, you know, go for the takedown anyways. I win the trade with the jab, with the long jab straight there. And I just want to say here as well, you know, shout out to Dylan. Let me just give a little shout out. Shout out to Dylan. You may see him in some of my streams. His name is Leroy Kenkins. He's one of my best mates. But he was like, Jamie, you can go for a cage turn and takedown instead of the backpack. I was like, mate, I don't know how to. He gives me the advice. It's like a normal takedown. Obviously, it's like a normal cage takedown. But you were like, you know, go up or down. And I was like, sweet, I'll try it. Didn't think I'd be able to execute it because I was thinking if I go back and then sideways, I wasn't sure in which order to do it. So, but I was like, you know, I might as well try it. I've got him up to the cage now. So, shout out to Dylan for this little sequence here. I clinch him up when I rock him when I win the trade because I wanted him down to the ground. I pull him back and then boom, I put him into side control with that turning cage takedown as Dylan had told me how to do. I get the denial. Really disappointed. Like I said, grappling horribly this fight. You know, I could have won this fight a lot easier than I did. Little spoiler there. My apologies if you haven't seen it. Ed, obviously, I want to point this out again. So basically I had him in side control, and my side control is usually really good. I get the denial elbow twice. On the second elbow he transitions upwards. Usually I'd get the denial, as I said. Poor grappling. Then he gets into half guard, and me knowing Ed has some of the best bottom half guard in the game, I should just posture up here and get into side control because I do get the transitions denials. I could just posture up, get into side control, because posture up, no matter how good you are, no matter how good your reactions are, very, very hard to deny. Easy free pass if you get a denial. So here, I should jab, posture up in the full guard, or posture half guard, should I say. And then I should move into side control. I'm watching from Ed's perspective here, so it's a little bit tougher. He gets into that full guard here now. This is a little bit of a controversial part of the fight coming up. He gets me into half guard, really nice. I was a bit scared here. I was like, oh, he might put me in top mount, try and do lots of damage. He gets me into side control. He was probably looking for a denial and then a crucifix. I do a good job of going up mid elbow. I'm pretty good at he gets into posture up half guard as I should have, and now he stands up here. Now at this point, you gotta get into my mindset. You have to be thinking what I'm thinking. You know what's going through my head right now. So what's going through my head right now is I'm in an eSports fight, the last eSports card. I'm against EdParker02, one of the best strikers in the game, one of the best counter strikers. I'm winning the fight. I'm 2 rounds up. I have very low head health. It's a monumentous occasion. It's a historical card, the last of the 4th season ever of the esports event. I mean, it was for money. Like I said, 2 rounds up, low head health. Why would I risk it? Me and Ed were supposed to match up for ages, so it was a big one for me personally. Because I was like, if I want to beat Ed on the big stage. Finally, we finally matched up, and this is it. The last 40 seconds of the fight. So Ed stands up. I'm like, Ed can come down to me. If he wants to get the damage off, he can either back up, make me stand up. Now, Ed could have backed up here and made me stand up. Nobody made him stand there. I got a lot of hate for just sitting there because, like, but you have to think, I have low head health, huge fight, money on the line, any, reputation. He could just walk backwards, make me stand up. He doesn't, so I say, why should I risk the fight when he could just, he could have either hopped on me or he could have made me stand up. But instead, he doesn't, so I decide, if he's not going to make me stand up, then I'll sit down on the bottom. I'll sit on the bottom, see if he's not going to do anything. So I kind of sit out on the last 40 seconds on my back, as I believed I was 2 rounds up. I could have possibly won the third via the takedowns, via the 2 stuns, but that rock into overhand seemed to win him that 3rd round. Here's the decision. It was a 29-28 unanimous decision for myself. Hats off to Ed. Was a great technical fight. Both came in here with smart game plans. I tried to just counter Ed's counters. I tried to tried to start second a lot that fight. Walk out of the pocket after he was attempting. The biggest part in this fight, I think, was me being smart, making the smart decisions, obviously sitting on me back for a little bit, going for clinches, going for takedowns, wasting time, and then in the 4th round, checking all those leg kicks perfectly, which really just stopped him from going for them. And it also stopped his power. His power wasn't as good going into those later rounds because I'd diminished his leg health through checks, which is really big now. But that'll be the end of that. Like I said, great fight to Ed, great clinical fight, great technical one. Luckily secured the victory. But if you've enjoyed the breakdown, a like would be appreciated. And if you haven't already subscribed, that should be much recommended that you do so. But for me, for now, that'll be that. I'll be releasing more videos. Like I said, I'll be probably releasing some announcement on a little tournament I'm going to do for 1,000 subs. So, look out for that soon. But for now, peace.